is your plan for like to help all of the unemployed that we have here in New York right now? I don't know what that number is off the top of my head. It's anywhere, I think it's slightly less than 1 million. You probably know better than myself.
Right now.
But how do we help all of those that are unfortunately unemployed right now?
Yeah, it is a huge problem. I think there's a lot that the city needs to start doing to support small businesses and restaurants in particular. A lot of the people who've lost their jobs work in the hospitality industry, on Broadway, in art, in culture. Small businesses have really been the ones that have lost most of those jobs. The city needs to be doing everything it can to get the federal government to act with the Restaurant Act and the Save Our Stages Act. But short of that, I think there's sort of two things that the city can be doing. Number one is the hardest part about running a restaurant or a business in this city should not be dealing with the city. You talk to restaurant owners, I mean, the amount of agencies they have to work through to get inspected, the amount of fines they have to pay, the amount of taxes that are coming out of their pocket. I mean, I have a friend who runs, came from nothing, has now built a business in the city, 6 bars. He has 600 employees. Back in a year ago this time, he was doing about $125,000, $150,000 a week at one of his bars. Last month, he was doing $5,000 a week. And so I said to Pete, like, how are you making it through this? And he said, well, my bank gave me 6 months off from interest payments and then just extended my loan 6 months. His landlord gave him half-month rent and amortized it across future rent payments. His suppliers took him from 30-day payables to 120. So he was sort of bailed out by the private sector. In June, when city taxes were due, the city said, pay me. He had to lay off 15 people. Right? And I know that the city needs revenues. The city is spending a lot of money. The city has to make payroll too. The city has to keep services up. But if the city is bankrupting the businesses that provide revenue in the future, you know, if Pete's 6 bars shut down, where's the city going to go to collect taxes next year or the year after or the year after? So I think there's a lot of things that the city can be doing now to just stop hurting businesses, you know, basically taking the doctor's oath to first do no harm. It shouldn't take 7 months to get a liquor permit. It shouldn't take more time to get a permit to open up a store or a restaurant than it does to actually build it out. Like, that should be the easiest part. So I think that's number one. On the revenue side, I think that there's a lot of things. I think the city should explore putting out a COVID bond, raising money specifically to invest in businesses to keep people employed. Because, you know, there's going to be a moment, maybe it's in 4 months, maybe it's in 8 months, maybe it's a year from now, when all of us walk outside without a mask on, right? It's going to happen, right? There's going to be a moment where all of us know the name of the scientist who is likely a woman who discovered the RNA vaccine that is the foundation for the Pfizer vaccine and the other vaccines that are coming out. We're going to be celebrating that. And this city is going to want to roar back to life, right? There is so much demand for New York. And I think the question is what's going to be left after this winter? And I think the city needs to be doing everything in its power, including issuing a bond in order to raise capital to invest in businesses, in particular small businesses and restaurants, to make sure that there is still something here for the city to roar back to life, to make this recovery much quicker. Because if we lose, I mean, we're in danger of losing up to half or 2/3 of our restaurants this winter. Think about how much longer it's going to take to come back. You know, if Broadway isn't here in June, how much longer is it going to take to come back? These industries are the lifeblood of this city. And so I think we need to do everything we can to make sure they're still here through this winter, which is going to be brutal.